Thank goodness he was not badly hurt going in, because he was walking in there and splashing around. But Harambe, our 17-year-old gorilla male, who's a great big animal, 400 pounds, went down and got him, carried him up into the moat, was moving him around, and it seemed very much by our professional team, our dangerous animal response team, to be a life-threatening situation. And they made a tough choice, and they made the right choice, because they saved that little boy's life. It could have been very bad. So the decision was not made lightly. Lowland gorillas are very endangered animals. There aren't very many in captivity, but it has the proper ending.
Today, we took the next step in Harambe's introduction here to the Cincinnati Zoo and put him together with two females, Chewy and Mara. Chewy and Mara are very socially savvy females. They've been with lots of different silverbacks in their lives, and they know how to properly behave around a silverback. And like we said, Harambe grew up in a family group also, so he's gotten a lot of good reference for family groups. So when you do gorilla introductions, sometimes they can be a little bit nervous about things. They're not quite sure about each other. And sometimes it can result in some aggression, some chasing, maybe even some fighting. But today we had a very low-key, uneventful introduction so far. I think that's partially because these guys have had all winter long to see each other in the back next door to each other, so they already are kind of familiar with one another. Harambe came out very calm, started eating pretty much right off the bat, which is a good sign that the gorilla's comfortable. Chewy and Mara are still a little standoffish. They're pacing around a little bit. They're not quite sure what to make of Harambe yet, but once again, everything is going real smooth so far.
Today at about 4 o'clock, a young boy crawled through a barrier at our outdoor gorilla center and through some bushes and over and fell into the moat. Thank goodness he was not badly hurt going in because he was walking in there and splashing around. But Harambe, our 17-year-old gorilla male, who's a great big animal, 400 pounds, went down and got him, carried him up into the moat, was moving him around, and it seemed very much by our professional team, our dangerous animal response team, to be a life-threatening situation. And so the choice was made to put down or shoot Harambe. And so he's gone. The little boy was taken to Children's Hospital, and we don't know his status, but he hopefully he's going to be fine. And we're not sure about that, but that's what we hope. It's a sad day all the way around. The right choice was made. It was a difficult choice. We have protocols and procedures. We do drills with our dangerous animal response team. But we've never had a situation like this at the Cincinnati Zoo where a dangerous animal needed to be dispatched in an emergency situation. But the team did a good job, and they made a tough choice, and they made the right choice because they saved that little boy's life. It could have been very bad. So the decision was not made lightly. Lowland gorillas are very endangered animals. There aren't very many in captivity, but it has the proper ending.
When you talk about protocol, Thane, walk us through the decision, how long it took to make the decision, and then also, what about tranquilizing? Was there some thought given to that?
And that's a very good question. We go through and practice those drills all the time for that very reason. The reason that tranquilizing was not chosen is in an agitated situation, which the male was, it may take quite a while for a tranquilizer to take effect, but certainly at the instant he would be hit, he would have a dramatic response. You don't hit it and he falls over. I mean, it would take a few minutes. So that was eliminated as the best option. In terms of the dangerous animal response team, we have a number of people that are trained, and they practice, and they go over drills and procedures. Those procedures were followed. I'm proud of that team. They did the right thing, and yet it's a difficult day. The zoo's in the business of taking care of endangered animals, and we certainly don't want to be in a situation where they have to be killed.
And the initial reaction of the gorilla was not one of attack?
Well, you're talking about an animal that's over 400 pounds and extremely strong. So, no, the child wasn't under attack, but all sorts of things could happen in a situation like that. So, he certainly was at risk.
How did the enclosure, how did the little boy get in there? He said he crawled through a small spot, but how is it laid out?
Well, our outdoor gorilla center, most everyone here has probably seen it in the past. It's been there for over 38 years. We've never had a problem of anybody getting into the moat. There's a railing, a steel railing with wires below. There's bushes. He went, evidently, I understand, underneath the railing and through the wires, and then to the moat wall, and then over into the moat itself.
So did he jump in? Did he fall in?
I don't know that, but I'm glad he didn't fall on his head. Yeah.
How far is the
heard
drop?
from witnesses that the child was picked up and dragged around by the gorilla. Is that true?
That was true, or that is true, and that's the reason it was determined it was a life-threatening situation.
Thane, who shot the gorilla? A security person or
Yes.
a keeper?
Well, a member of our dangerous animal response team who's a zoo employee and is one of our trained responders.
What about the parents? Thane, have you spoken to the parents? Where are the parents?
We've not. I'm sure that we will, and we look forward to that. But their job's to make sure their little boy's all right, and we certainly hope that he is.
Thane, since you haven't had a situation like this before, what are the safety and security measures that the zoo will look at?
Sure. Well, we have a very robust security team and security program, and so they've already had an initial debrief of what went on where, and we'll follow up with that as well. The exhibit is safe, but we will look at that as well and make double sure that all's well. So yeah, we have a whole process of reviewing the safety situation for the zoo.
Were there any other animals inside that area when all this happened?
There were 2 female gorillas, and they went inside. They were called in. The male, given the situation, stuck with the boy and didn't go in.
And how far is the drop from where the little boy went in to where he landed?
You know, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. If you wanted me to guess, I'd say 10, 12 feet.
How long did the gorilla have the child in his possession before?
I think about 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Yeah.
That seems like a long time.
Thane, is there video of this event?
Not that I know of.
Tell us more about this team that went in there after the gorilla.
Well, the Cincinnati Zoo has security at the zoo 24 hours a day. We take that role very seriously, keeping our guests safe, keeping our employees safe, keeping our animals safe. And a part of that is to have a dangerous animal response team, just so if something like this happens. It could be if a keeper was threatened, it could be if, in this case, which is unusual, but a member of the visiting public's threatened. And so we have a team that practices for that and prepares for that. And thank goodness we're prepared today and handled it. But it's a sad day at the zoo.
17 years old is gorilla.
Harambe was 17 years old.
I think when the polar bear was can we go and take shots of the gorilla exhibit?
I don't think we're set up for that right now. Are we to go in and see the Gorilla Center or not?
No, not right now. We're still gathering details.
Yeah, so it's not really open to go visit right now.
Could you give us any more details about this gorilla when she was here, or when?
Sure. He was born at the Gladys Porter Zoo in Brownsville, Texas. We have a long relationship with them. It's where our female Who's So Famous Gladys came from 3 or 4 years ago. Harambe was a good guy. He was a youngster who started to grow up, and there was hopes to breed him. He was not quite at breeding maturity yet, but it'll be a loss to the gene pool of lowland gorillas. Gorillas are highly endangered. They come from Central and West Africa, and they're very tightly managed captive population for genetic reasons. So the loss of a breeding male is a big deal. But we will certainly continue our gorilla program. It's one of our most important programs.